Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Killer Film Reviews. We've been on a long hiatus for a while. This is going to be my review, a much delayed review of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I feel like the entire movie was okay-ish. I thought the plot was pretty decent. I had an uneventful night that night, to be quite frank. Like, when I was going to the movie theater, there was a brawl that apparently broke out in one of the neighboring movie theaters about 50 minutes before my movie started and stuff, and like, there was SWAT team, cops, and everything there. It was crazy. Oh look, we got Chocolate B. But the point I'm trying to make here is that this movie kind of has people a little divided. Some people like it, some people hate it. I'm kind of in the middle. Like, it was a decent movie in my opinion. I didn't really see why there was so much controversy with it, besides maybe the fact that it was mostly African American actors and actresses in this, and hardly any white actors or actresses in it. There is like a raid, like in the beginning of the film, of some French special forces units into Wakanda to steal vibranium because they know that Black Panther is gone and all that. The way they handled that was pretty professional, pretty well done, I must say. Like, even I was impressed by how they wrote them into the story and how they did it the right way. You know, I didn't really think there was anything really bad with this movie. I mean, it caters more towards an African American audience and more towards those that live overseas in Africa. Okay? It's not meant to just be one way or the other, you know. Movies are meant to be fun. They're not meant to be divisive. To be quite honest. It's just crazy. I thought that the actor behind the Moore was great. Shuri's actor, Lydia Wright, was great in their roles. There's some surprises along the way with the movie. I guess my kind of thing was, I'm giving it like a 8 out of 10 because the pacing just felt like a little off in my opinion. I felt like they could have been a little bit faster with getting to different plot points. That's really my only real complaint about it. Like, the what was his name? Agent Ross or whatever I think his name is, he's pretty much tied up for the entire movie in different things. Like, he tries to help, but every time he tries to help, he's like stopped by Louis Defray. Yeah, the director behind the bad Avengers or whatever they're gonna call them. I forget what they're gonna call them, but yeah, I just felt like that was kind of a silly plot point. I felt like there was no reason for them to sit there and write out his contribution to the whole plot. You know, they kind of just sidelined him and stuff. The song Alone by Burna Boy in this movie is pretty great. It's helped me kind of realize some things in my own life, you know, that just weren't right. You know, it really is a song that just you really need for the hard times. But yeah, unfortunately, something happened where most of the soundtrack's not available to stream on Apple Music anymore. I'm gonna guess it's some kind of copyright dispute or something of that nature. It's hard to say without getting some official response. I tweeted at Disney and Apple Music and the Black Panther movie people, and I didn't get a response back. So it's probably a contractual dispute is my guess, or they want to region lock it for some reason, which I find to be really unfair on so many levels. Because that song was really great. Granted, you can still listen to it via probably YouTube Music. It's a YouTube video still. It's in YouTube video form still for those that want to watch it. I just feel like the whole song was just decent. It really stuck with me. This movie is not one for the faint of heart. It gets really sad. You really just feel the emotion throughout this movie. It's really a movie about loss. Without giving away too many details, of course. But would I have changed any plot points of the movie per se? I'd probably just make the pacing a little bit faster. You know, that's about my only issue with it, is I thought the pacing took too long to get to the main points in the plot. You know, I felt like the entire story could have been, that entire movie could have been cut around 20 minutes shorter, in all honesty. But I get why they wanted to go for a longer length movie. It's because Chadwick passed away and stuff. They want to honor his memory, and that's alright. They have a good tribute to him in the start of the film and toward the end of it as well. I'm not going to spoil the end credit scene for obvious reasons, as I thought it was very touching. Was there kind of any annoying parts besides maybe Ross getting sidelined? Just the pacing, like I said. I didn't really care that they decided to have an all African American cast or African cast. I didn't really care about that. That's alright. Doesn't affect me any. We live in modern times, you know, we should be able to honor and respect traditions, but I just found that the whole non-inclusion of Ross into the plot was kind of weird, if I'm being honest. He was a pretty big part of the first Black Panther film, if you do recall. I don't know. I thought it was weird. We don't really have an African nation in Warships yet, but I'm sure they'll probably figure out something with time. It's hard to say what they could come up with, but I'm sure there's some ships they could use for a potential line perhaps in the future. It's hard to say. But yeah, like, I am sorry about there not being videos out on this channel in such a long time. I was originally going to do a She-Hulk review like some time ago, but then I decided, you know, let's shift to Black Panther because that's more recent, than do She-Hulk afterwards. And, you know, I've had a lot of upheaval in IRL lately. I can't really get into details, but it's been crazy. I think a lot of it was just due to stress building over time, and just things being unresolved in a good manner. Really much else to say on that, you know. It's just we live in a world where unfortunately people target those that have been through a lot, and the stress can get to a point where you just lose it, you know. That's all I can really say. Overall, the themes of sorrow, loss, hope, inspiration, you know, those are all present throughout this film. And I still stick by my 8 out of 10 rating because the pacing could have been better, and there really was like, just really could have done a little better with this. It could have been a little shorter. Besides that, you know, there's not really much I would have changed with it. But, you know, it's pretty good for what you're getting. I'm not gonna say that it's the bee's knees, that it's the greatest movie ever. It's okay. It's not the greatest nor the worst, you know. I still don't know why there was a huge breakout and fight, you know, over the film or whatever. My guess is it's probably to do something with a later scene in the movie where a certain character goes goes into the afterlife scene. That's the only one I can really think of where they would sit there and have a fight or something break out over that. Otherwise, I really just tried to keep this review spoiler free as possible because I want people to enjoy the film. And that's kind of where I stand on it. And I hope that you all have a good rest of your day and you enjoy this killer film review. She-Hulk should be next. That one's probably going to be short and sweet, as it's been quite a while since I've seen it. So we're going to take things one step at a time and try to get things back to normal on the channels. I'm just very, very tired right now, and I'm doing the best that I can. And good news anyway, we have a Land Killer FPS channel that's gonna slowly but surely over time have videos on it of first-person shooters. Probably just story gameplay for now, and then more multiplayer and more live streaming later down the road once it's able to live stream in the future. But for now, I'm just going to focus on campaign stuff, and eventually the plan is to transition Modern Warfare 2 stuff over to that channel once the channel is capable of actually live streaming. But for now, we'll continue doing live streams of World Warships and Modern Warfare 2 on the main channel until Land Killer FPS actually gets off the ground and actually gets a decent following. So check that channel out if you want. It should be in the channels tab, and that's going to be the final channel that I ever create because it's already a Herculean task just to keep all these channels updated. Like, just being knocked out of commission for like a long time here, you know, with all these channels being without videos, just makes me realize that 7's the right amount of channels and 7 is where we're going to stay at. And I'm not going to change that because we are at the point where it's already a lot just to get the channels updated. So Land Killer FPS will be the final channel that I go out and make for a long time. If I ever do make another channel, it will probably be later down the road, probably more of an advice channel or something about how to get better in games or something, I don't know. But right now, you know, we're gonna stick with the channels we have for a long time. I believe the goal is to eventually grow these channels out to have each one reach 1,000 subs in its own time. I'm in it for the long haul at this point because we've already put so much time into these channels. I know this channel hasn't exactly grown the fastest out of all of them, but I think it still has potential and it will get there eventually. So if you want to help out this channel, share the videos, comment down below what you liked about the review, what you didn't like about the review, and I'm just going to keep trucking along with more videos for you guys when possible. Thank you so much for watching this killer film review of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. 8 out of 10 film, decent, pacing could have been better, really weird acting choices, but that worked out in the end, and the inclusion of Riri Williams and all these different design concepts and stuff were pretty good. So until the next killer film review, remember the golden rule: treat others how you want to be treated, and that's all I'm going to say.